Matthew.
Sure, thanks a lot. Matthew Lee, Inner City Press, on behalf of the Free UN Coalition for Access. Thanks for the briefing. I wanted to ask you about General Heftar. It said that you visited him on December 16th, and the quote, at least as I've seen it, is "Finally, I made it." What's his role, in your view, in the future government? And also, because given that your predecessor, there was quite a bit of controversy when you left the post and took the job in the UAE, I wanted to ask, I guess, just ask you, can you commit at this time, or what's your view of the appropriate, as a UN official, obviously you've only just begun, but can you commit now that when you leave the post, it will not be to an institution run by a government that has an interest in Libya?
Once again, if
The controversy around Mr. Leon was
Yeah.
that he negotiated the job at the Diplomatic Academy of the UAE,
Yeah.
given with the UAE having a kind of a stake in the Libyan conflict. When you leave, will it not be to a institution run by a government with an interest in Libya?
Okay.
Okay.
Now, first question, Haftar. It's up to the government to decide on what's to be done. The agreement here is very clear. Everybody remains in function for the next 20 days. And then the government, during the next 20 days, 17 days now, they have to find a solution for this. Now, if this is not possible within 20 days, there I think the agreement foresees another extension of 30 days. I was indeed with General Haftar just one day before the Sirat agreement, and I must say it was a very constructive meeting. We did not agree on everything. However, the question was very clearly raised. Also, the weapons embargo. Of course, fight against terrorism needs weapons. So this is something where General Haftar also has an interest, of course, in for his sphere of influence. It is up to the government to decide then what to do, and not up to the United Nations. Second question here, you see, I mean, Leon is Leon, Kobler is Kobler. You see, there will be. I don't see any conflict of interest here. I have a return ticket to the German Foreign Ministry at the end of the day. I see this quite relaxed, you know. I will have a job even if I have to terminate next month, so I will have no problem, I mean, to earn my money.
I'm afraid that's all the time we have today. Or can you take one more question, sir?
Yes, of course, Matthew, always.
Uh,
Inner City Press, always, because I read them every day.
Okay, and I'm not asking you about DRC. No, I wanted to ask you specifically about this. There are people saying that Italy and perhaps other countries are already ready to do military training. I guess this would have to require waiting the requisite 30 days. But can you say if you've had any discussions with these European countries or others that intend or plan or hope to do military training there? And also, what is the role of the Italian general that you mentioned? Does it have anything to do with that, or is it entirely a UN function? What does it have to do with, let's say, Italian military trainers at some point coming to Libya?
Yeah. No, General Paolo Sarra is a three-star general from Italy, but as you know, I mean, we are all UN, and nationalities do not play a role. However, of course, everybody has special relations to the country they are coming from. When it comes to the training units, indeed, there are talks with Italy underway to have some modules. But also here, it's up to the new government to decide how they want to be trained. Maybe they want or they don't want. That's why we always end up to the question, get this government in function now, and they might request or not. The Italians are prepared to assist, and I think it's only natural that counter-terrorism units, they have to be trained. Regular army units, they have to be trained. If they decide to use Italian trainers, the new government, so be it. But let's establish the government. They have to establish the government first, and then they request for possible training. And Italians are prepared to do it and to help.
And with the arms, I mean, the current arms embargo, would it have any impact on that type of a training program?
Yes, because there are no weapons now going to the army. Now, there will be then legitimate army units, and the legitimate now government of the Security Council, they will have to request from the Security Council exemption from the weapons embargo.